Hello guys and welcome back. This is Mr. Siege. Now I did say we want to be looking at the new crystal technology that obviously Rise of Kingdoms have brought out, which I think could be fantastic for all people that main a troop type. Now not just Siege, I mean anybody. So for me, obviously I'm a Siege main and not ideal, and I wouldn't suggest anybody doing it because it's not easy. And as I've seen in Omniarch's last video, he thinks the same, and I kind of agree on a lot of things he says. So the thing here is now we haven't got as much attack, which Omniarch also mentioned. And I don't think that's a terrible thing. I mean, being more tanky, having more health and, more defense is going to be beneficial. Now, we do have a lot of attack in the siege equipment, which I'll show you now on the screen. And as you can see there, 50-odd% from this siege equipment is a pretty high amount of attack, and we don't have as much defense and health. Now, that defense and health will help when we get swarmed, and I get swarmed a lot. So, there is some benefits there. Now, the only other thing is, I never ever max unit capacity. I barely get any unit capacity, and I will go through and show you my current KVK crystal tech, which is still in obviously the old version. Now, this new tech is completely different, whereas we can get a high amount of unit capacity quite early on. Now, I'm not sure this is absolutely perfect, but I've done sort of my preferred route. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to pick up some of these things as well, reducing crystal cost and, rally capacity I'm not interested in. Even Karaku reports I'm not that massive bothered with, as long as I can complete the Karaku quests or whatever they are. And even barbs, I know I don't push barbs in KVK, I do my sort of daily tasks and that's it. So some of these I can sort of miss out, but some of them again would be kind of useful. So that's going to cost like almost 2 million crystals there, so it depends how much I want to put into that. Now I don't spend on crystals, I don't buy crystal tech, so going along one string could be extremely beneficial for me. Again, larger camps, reinforcement capacity, not bothered about. I don't need to expand formation. I don't need to use any more marches. Now, some of these I would like is your healing costs, but that's going to be at the cost of doing more damage on the field. Now, obviously, I want to be having more siege health and more siege march speed potentially. And I don't know if you have to max these before you can continue, maxing these sections here. I've only got one into this here, which obviously links up the next section. But you know how Crystal Tech is at the moment, where you might need 3 points in this or 7 points in this to actually continue further on. I'm not sure. Now, I don't need to have maxed these, but if I was going to, I would want to reduce damage taken from, your cavalry, archer, and infantry. And obviously, surprise strike will then do more damage as well, which is kind of crazy. I don't think people need to be reducing damage from siege, personally, because siege don't do a great amount of damage anyway. Obviously, it takes a long time to do that amount of damage. But if I could do this, which would be sort of me maxing tech effectively, it's going to cost me around 39 million crystals or 40 million crystals. So that could be kind of useful. Now, I'm going to show you my usual crystal tech. So, popping into my obviously research center, my crystal research center, and as you can see here, I've had to waste tech on waste crystals on tech I don't really need. I don't use infantry, cavalry, archer, and obviously I've had to put tech into other things as well, because obviously to unlock further down the line you have to. But I do tend to obviously put crystals in to siege stats, and as you can see, call to arms I only ever get to 6, which is a 4% unit capacity, which is absolutely nothing. So I'm going to bring a lot more units to the field with this new technology, without a doubt. And I know Omniarch was saying we got reduced attack in crystal tech, but now with a high unit capacity we're going to be doing a lot more of an output of damage. Again, so is everyone else, but we're going to be remaining on this field for longer. We're going to have more mighty heal, more healing. And overall, I think this crystal tech, the new crystal tech, is going to be beneficial. Now, we don't know for sure, because obviously I've not tested it out. I'm currently in this KVK, and, at the moment I'm getting 11% attack here, and over here I'm getting 10% there. So I'm getting 21% attack from crystal tech. Now, we do have attack formation as well, which gives 12% there as well. But, you know, we are missing out on some. We're missing out on 4% there. So, you know, that is a little bit. So I'm not getting anywhere near max tech here, but effectively I could almost max tech for my lane or my string of siege units. And anyone could do that if you're maining a troop type. You run 3 cavalry or 4 cavalry troops, then you can effectively max tech for a lot cheaper, in theory. Now, let's go and have a look how much I've actually spent on crystal, you know, crystal-wise at the moment. So, as you can see, I've actually spent 40 million crystals at the moment. Now, Kingsland ended like a week ago. So, I've not spent a lot. I've still got like 3 million still to use. You know, I could have used that, and I still will use it. Obviously, I'll rush some tech. But, you know, I slack on Bastions as well, guys. I don't bother with Bastions a lot of the time. You know, I've not been doing Bastion quests for a while now because they just get a bit boring for me, a bit repetitive, and I really do hate them in the game, to be honest with you. But there's no avoiding it; it has to be done. Yeah, so I am looking forward to it. Looking forward to try it out. And to be honest, I might be more inclined to spend more money on Crystal Tech because, you know, I can actually max it, or there's more chance of maxing my tech as I want now. So I'm looking forward to it. So guys, what do you think about it? I think it brings a lot more positivity personally, and I'm looking forward to fighting people with full troops and using full troops myself. I've never been anywhere near getting full unit capacity. Now even now, if I send out my March at 224,000, and that's because Siege have a 3% boost. You know, this should be more like 300,000, which it's going to be, and then you've got your 50% troop boost, which is going to be amazing. So I'm really looking forward to it. What do you guys think? Are you looking forward to the new Crystal Tech changes? I think it's great for free to play and people that main a troop type. So guys, this is Mr. Siege. See you on the next one. Bye bye.